probability. So many people dread this topic, they're scared of it. Well, let me tell you that it's such a vast and huge area of discussion. Nobody can claim superiority, let alone expertise in this topic. Okay, through this video, I'll attempt to make you a little less scared and of course a little more informed on the subject of probability. And okay, let's begin with the topic. When we talk of probability, we are talking of chance, the likelihood of happening of something you desire or maybe you want to happen. Or what is the chance that it will happen or it will not happen? This is what probability is. In this video, beginning with simple questions, we'll graduate to really tough questions by the end. And let's begin probability using a very simple and straightforward example. Okay, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to draw a dice. Okay, a dice. We all have used dice. We play with dice, and a dice has, we all know, it has 6 numbers written on it, namely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so dice has 6 numbers in all. Okay, if I ask you a very simple question, the question is, what is the chance, what is the likelihood that you will see 2 on the top? That if you roll a dice and what is the chance, what is the likelihood that you will see 2 on the top? Of seeing a 2 on the top? Well, 2 is just one of these 6 numbers. 2 is just one of these 6 numbers. So the chance of seeing 2 on the top is 1 out of 6. So the probability of seeing 2 on the top is 1 out of 6. This is probability. And in the terminology of probability, 2 was a favorable case. We wanted 2 to happen. We desired 2 to happen. And 2 can happen in only one way. So we'll call it in terms of probability. In how many ways? In how many ways could we have 2? Only one way. There's only one way, which is favorable case upon total number of ways, total cases. So probability of any event is favorable case upon total number of cases. In our case, favorable was 2. We wanted 2 on the top, and the ways in which we can see 2 on the top is only 1, and out of total 6. So probability is 1 by 6. Let me put it more neatly. Probability, we'll be using this formula quite a lot throughout this video. Probability is favorable cases, those cases which are in your favor, out of total number of cases. Probability is favorable upon total number of cases. Okay, let's do another question. By the end of this question, you'll be pretty clear with the concept of probability. Let's say this time we used 2 dices. There are 2 dices and you roll them. The question is, what is the probability that you'll see the sum of those 2 numbers on the top of those dices as 7. Sum of those 2 numbers as 7. You can pause the video here and look back again for the solution. Okay, the solution. We want sum to be 7. How can we have sum equal to 7? What are the various ways of getting sum as 7? We can have 1 on the first dice and 6 on the second, 2 on the first and 5 on the second, 3, 4, 4, 3, 5, 2, 6, 1. So these are the ways in which we can get sum as 7. So these all are favorable ways. These six ways, they are favorable ways. We can have sum as 7 in these 6 cases, in these 6 ways. So these numbers, they are all favorable cases. But what are the total number of cases? Total number of cases we can have. We can have, of course, 6 numbers on the first dice and 6 on the second. So total number of cases possible is 36. So the probability of seeing sum as 7 is favorable cases, which is 6 out of total number of cases, 36. So the probability of getting a sum equal to 7 is 1 by 6. That's it. Okay, another example. This is a bit on the higher side, of course. There are 2 dices and you threw them, and This time you wanted the sum of the numbers on the top of those dices to be a prime number. Sum to be a prime number. Again, you can pause the video here and come back again for the solution. Okay, meanwhile, let me continue. We wanted sum to be a prime number. Sum to be a prime number. What is the range? What is the minimum sum we can have, and what is the maximum sum we can have? The minimum sum we can have here is 1 plus 1, which is 2, and the maximum sum we can have here is 6 plus 6, which is 12. So 2 is the minimum sum we can have, and 12 is the maximum sum we can have. So what all prime numbers do we see between these numbers 2 and 12? The prime numbers that we see here are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. These all numbers. So what are the various ways of forming these numbers? In how many ways can we form 2? Only one way, 1 plus 1. In how many ways can we form 3? 1 plus 2 and 2 plus 1. 5, 1, 4, 2, 3, 3, 2, 4, 1. 7, you've seen earlier in the previous question as well. In all these ways, we can get sum as 7. 11, 5, 6 and 6, 5. So these are the various ways in which we can get the sum to be a prime number. In all, how many ways? 1 here, 2 ways here, 4 here, 6 here and 2 here. In all, 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 2 is 15. So in all, the favorable cases are 15 out of how many? 36. 15 out of 36 because 6 into 6 is 36. Which gets cancelled on 3, 5 by 12. So the probability of getting a prime number is 5 by 12. Alright, moving on to the next question. Of a different kind. Let's say there are 8 green balls and let's say there are 5 red balls to choose from in a bag. And let's say you take out 3 balls. 3 balls they are drawn from the bag. And what is the probability that they all will be green? That all these 3 balls will be green. 2 parts to this question. First part is that the balls are replaced. That I took out a ball and I saw, okay, it's green, and I put it back in the bag. They are replaced. The number of balls in the bag, they do not go down. I put them back in the bag. And the second case could be balls are replaced. Balls are not replaced. First is replaced, second is not replaced. These 2 questions. When I say not replaced, what do I mean by this? Not replaced is I took out the ball and I saw, okay, it's green, and I put it on the table. Alright, moving on. First part. Balls are replaced. Balls are replaced. When I say balls are replaced, it is the same number of balls are available every time to draw out from, to take out from in the bag. Total number of balls, there were 8 green and 5 red. So we had 13 balls to choose from. And the probability of taking out 3 green balls. In the first case, favorable balls, there were 8 out of how many? 13. 8 out of 13. Again, I took out this ball and I put it back in the bag. So the number of balls in the bag, they did not go down. Again, 8 balls to choose from out of 13. And again, 8 out of 13. So the answer is 8 by 13 cube. When the balls, they were replaced. Alright, next one. When the balls, they were not replaced. The number of balls, they keep on decreasing. Probability of taking out 3 green balls is, first case, 8 out of 13. Okay, I saw a green ball, I held it and I took it out and put it on the table. So now I have 7 green balls to choose from out of 12. Then again one is taken out and kept on the table. 6 to choose from out of 11. So cancelling it out, the answer becomes 28 by 143. Alright, but that's not it. The answer is not that important as the concept, as compared to the concept. The concept is really important. The number of balls, they keep on decreasing every time because I'm not replacing them. I hope the concept is clear. You can, and of course, the beauty of watching it on video, the beauty of watching it here is that you can always pause it and replay it if you did not understand the concept. Or you can write me in. Okay, next question. Again, of a different sort. Let's say a person has 3 children, and we know that the first one was a boy, with the first as a boy, you have to find the probability that at least two of the children they'll be boys. Person has 3 children. With the first one as a boy, you have to find the probability that at least 2 will be boys. Okay, moving on to the solution. Here, first one is boy. Now we want at least one more boy for the case to be true. What are the various possibilities for the second and the third kid? Second kid could be a boy, third could be a boy. Second could be a boy, third could be a girl. Second could be a girl, third could be a boy. And both girl. This is a valid case. At least two. But in this case, no. We are left with only we get left with only one boy. So we discard this case. Alright. Keep moving on. What is the chance of getting a boy here? Of getting a boy? As a second kid, as getting the probability of getting a boy here is 1/2, because it could have been a girl as well. So we have to choose 1 out of 2. So 1/2. Because second kid could have been a boy or a girl, so probability of a boy is 1/2 again, and here as well 1/2. Okay, second case again boy 1/2, and of girl of course again 1/2. And girl 1/2, boy 1/2, so 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. So we have 3 1/4s. Adding them up, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. They add up to 3/4. So the total probability of having at least 2 boys is 3/4. This was kind of a special case where the probability of occurrence of an event was equal. When I say the probability of occurrence of an event was equal, what do I mean by this is that of getting a boy or getting a girl, the probability of getting a boy or a girl, they were equal. They were both 1/2. So we could have straight away come to the conclusion that when the probabilities of getting a boy and a girl of the events, if they were equal, we could have straight away arrived at the answer as these 3 were favorable cases out of these 4. So we could have straight away written the answer as 3 out of 4. So the probability of getting 2 boys, at least 2 boys, is 3 out of 4. But in so many questions you'll not have the probability of occurring of events to be equal. Let me clarify it using an example. Let's say there are 3 people. Let's say there are 3 people, A, B, C, and they are shooters and they are hunters. A can hit target 3 out of 6 times. B can hit a target 2 out of 6 times. C can hit a target 4 out of 6 times. And let's say they all take a shot. And you have to find the probability that at least 2 shots hit the target. At least 2 shots hit the target. What is the probability that at least 2 shots they hit the target? We are given the probabilities of A, B, and C hitting the target to be there, and we can straight away we can clearly see that these probabilities, they are not equal. Okay, moving on to the solution. Probability of A, B, C hitting, I'm just rewriting it. It was this. And the probability of A, B, C not hitting the target is 1 minus hitting. 1 minus 3/6, 1 minus 2/6, and 1 minus 4/6. So we find it as 3/6, 4/6, and 2/6. This is of not hitting the target. These were of hitting the target. Alright, moving on. So we want at least 2 shots to hit. At least 2 shots to hit out of A, B, C. So we can have A to hit, we can have B to hit as well, and we can make C to hit as well. In this case, all 3 hit. At least 2 condition is satisfied. Another case could be A, B hit and C does not hit. Another case could be A and C hit, B does not hit. Sorry. Another case could be A does not hit and B, C hit. So the probabilities they become of A hitting was 3/6, of B hitting was 2/6, of C hitting was 4/6. Multiplying. Of A hitting was 3 by 6. B hitting was 2 by 6. C not hitting was 2 by 6 again. Plugging in all these values of hitting and non-hitting, we arrive at this calculation. Okay. So, and we add them up. We add all these 4 things up to get at the final probability. It becomes 108 upon 216. We cancel it out on 2, 1 by 2. So the final probability is 1 by 2. At least 2 shots will be hit. The probability is 1 by 2. And in this particular case, we were faced with the situation when the probabilities, they varied. Of A, B, C, they varied. They were not equal. As in the previous example, where the probability of having a boy or a girl, they were equal. 1 by 2, 1 by 2 each. Okay, moving on to the next question. This is the last question of the video, I believe. Okay. Probability that A can solve a question, like it's akin to the question that we have just done. A can solve the question. Goes like A can solve a question. The probability of A solving a question is 2 by 3. The probability of B solving a question is 3 by 4. You have to find if both of them they are given the problem. If both of them they attempt the question, what is the probability that the question will be solved? If both of them they are given the question, what is the probability that the question will be solved? Probability of A solving it is this, of B solving it is this. That's it. Okay, solution. What are the various possibilities of question getting solved? Either out of A and B, either A will solve it and B will not, or A will not solve it, B will, or they both will solve it. Plugging in the values of A solving it was 2 by 3 and B not solving it was 1 minus 3 by 4 was 1 by 4. A not solving it is 1 minus 2 by 3 is 1 by 3 and B solving it is 3 by 4 and A solving it, B solving it 2 by 3, 3 by 4. Adding these 3 values up, we arrive at the final value as 11 by 12. So there is a great possibility, the possibility is 11 by 12 that the problem will be solved. Okay. That the question will be solved. 11 by 12. Okay, the star question. I'll not give you the answer. I'll not give you the answer to this question in this video. It will be in the next video. Okay, the question is, 2 friends, it's a star level question, it's a great question. 2 friends, they decide to meet at a restaurant. Let's say they decide to meet between 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock. They decide that they'll meet between 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock. And it's given that each will wait for the other for 10 minutes. Each will wait for the other for 10 minutes. For example, let's say if one friend arrived at, let's say, 3:30, he'll wait for the other till 3:40. And if in between these 10 minutes the other one arrived, they both will meet. And if he did not, they will not. Okay, you have to find. So the question here is, you have to find the probability that they will meet. What is the probability that they will meet? So I'll stop the video here. You can use your brain and of course have a great sleep. Take care.